Welcome back. Once again, it is Andrew Fomtavong. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for the support. Today is a follow-up video on one that I did approximately 1 year ago today. And that video was, how did I become a general manager of a franchise dealership before 35? Today, I'm going to talk to you about the 10 things I learned after 1 year completed as a general manager of a franchise store. Let's do it. Number one, alignment is key. So often, dealerships tend to underestimate the power of just simply meeting and talking and just having a nice conversation of fluid communication. Alignment sometimes requires a lot of friction. And what I mean by that is, as you're sort of moving the pieces into alignment, there's probably going to be some tension and there's probably going to be some friction, meaning in some of the meetings that we have for alignment, it might get heated. People are passionate about what they do. People care about what they do. They care about their livelihood. They care about their development, but they also care about the direction in which we head as an organization. It's going to get heated sometimes, and that's okay. But alignment is so important that we should have that prioritized, because it is something that will guide you in the right way and allows everybody to understand this is where we're going, this is where we're headed, and this is what we need to do. Number two, communication needs to be rich and prioritized. So what's interesting about communication is some people think just a certain comment or a statement or an email is enough. One thing that I've been taught by a mentor of mine is it's all about rich communication, constant communication, just staying in touch and giving those people the right amount of information all the time so you're not skipping a beat. Even if you believe you already have, it might still be a good idea to follow up and say, hey, did you get my email? Hey, did you receive this? Hey, did you read my text? Just to know that that communication has come across. In today's day and age, we're bombarded with texts and emails and information. It's extremely important that we stop, take a moment, and check to ensure that that person has received the message, not just the communication. Number three, don't forget the basics. And of course, don't forget what brought you to the dance. And that is your sales skills, your routine, your process, the things in which your team has done very, very well. It's important to continue doing those things and not just sort of forget about them as you develop new things or bring on new things to your process. Don't forget the good things and make sure that you're constantly reviewing them, innovating them, and then of course, building upon them. Number four, this I learned from, I believe his name is Ron Anderson, through the platform of Cardone On Demand or Cardone University, is know what to overlook. We are, again, bombarded with information and different things. I think the number currently is about 13,000 unread emails sitting on my phone. The nice thing is the majority of those are for reference. The majority of those things don't require a reply. They just required me to just quickly review it, look at it, and move on. The nice thing is I knew what to overlook. Now, most people would say, oh, Andrew, that's a pain in the ass. Like, now you have to look at your phone every time and see that. That's not bothersome to me. To me, I understand that there's always going to be a lot of things for me to look at. And if I have that as an unread and I kept it that way, it means that at some point in time, I may need it to reference, or I may need that key piece of information to forward on to one of my teammates to make sure that they have the information that they require as well. So I think the key in overlooking things is understanding, again, what to prioritize. Is this urgent and important? Is this important and urgent? Is this not urgent and not important? Knowing that allows you to be able to maneuver through some of that information, some of the people issues that you have a little bit better, and will allow you to save and manage your time much, much better and much more efficiently to make sure that you can get a lot more done. 5, don't forget to brush up on your skills. Training should still be prioritized. Again, don't forget what brought you to the dance. It was you performing at your highest. Are you still at the top of your game? You should be asking yourself, have you developed new skills? What new skills have you developed? What new things have you added to your repertoire or your holster? at the end of the day, it should actually allow you almost more time. One thing I always train and teach is I want to train my team with everything that I know, everything, so that I am forced one day to go and find new information and develop more skills to ensure that when they come back to me hungry and thirsty for knowledge, I have something for them and I'm ready. Number 6, have many safety nets in place. I've always said in this business that I'm very untrusting. And it's not that I don't trust people's intentions or what they do or that they're all horrible people. I just trust the fact that people are going to make mistakes. And it's important for us as a business or an organization to make as little as possible. Having many layers and many safety nets in place allow us to have many tasks change through or go through many hands to make sure that we're making as little of mistakes as possible. It's important to have those things because you're going to catch things that others don't, and people are going to catch things that you definitely don't. So it's important to have those safety nets in place to make sure that you have less and less exposure for a lot of tasks. Number 7 thing that I learned 1 year down as a general manager of a franchise store is to always ready the business. That means ready your people. That means ready what your showroom looks like. I think the best part about what I get to do today is to really just audit and to go in and kind of look at things with fresh eyes. When I was on the floor, just basically grinding and pushing, it's really difficult to kind of look up and go, oh geez, that promotion or that marketing was 2 months ago and we haven't taken it down, or the walls need to be painted. Just simple things that you with fresh eyes are going into, that you're going to see and you're going to look at that other people are not going to see. Just like your safety nets, you're going to catch stuff that others don't. They should be able to catch things that you don't either, but it is important to always ready your business, but also ready your people. Have you addressed them as a whole, kept them motivated, reminded them of the mission statement and the reason in which why we come to work every day, which is our why? Have we reminded them of that? We should be constantly readying them for those things, and that is 2 great ways, of course, for your business, but also for your people to always be ready. Number 8, this is one that most are probably going to be very annoyed with if you have worked with me in the past or I've managed you. One of the most important things to me in this business is to always build for growth. And what I mean by build for growth is I come from a hospitality background where the majority of issues in a restaurant, we'll say, or a bar that people have is not getting customers in through the front door. The biggest issue they have is actually how they deal with those customers when they arrive. Is your team ready? Are they presentable? Do we have places for them to sit? When customers are coming into our showroom, I find it's very, very easy for us to be either 1, very cold, just completely dead, no customers, nothing going on, or literally the complete opposite, where everybody's busy, everybody's with a customer, everybody's with a client, everybody's gone on a test drive, and that just goes to show that the majority of time your team hasn't built for growth, meaning you haven't readied the business, you haven't found yourself in a place that as soon as all the business comes in, you're ready for it, in turn will allow the flow of business to come a lot more frequently, a lot more liquid, and basically streaming in, because your clients also know that if someone is not ready and prepared for business, that's not someone they should do business with. If you are ready for the business, you are able to handle it, and customers get a great experience no matter how busy you are, actually the busier that you are, that's when people want to do business with you. That's when people go, we need to go see those people, because why else is everybody there? Wow, they're really busy, they have things going on, and our experience was not sacrificed with the amount of people that they had in their showroom. Extremely important to focus on how you build for growth. And that means to have the right amount of staff, that means to have your staff ready and trained, that means to have your inventory ready to come for test drives or whatever it may be, to have your systems and your technology ready. Have you built for growth? It's a great question to ask yourself and your team, and an extremely important part in which I've learned and something that I've always preached, and it has definitely helped me in this past year. Number 9, do not be too proud to ask for advice. These are the things that go back to basics, is sometimes you just have to ask for advice, whether it's your dealer principal or even your team. That's the reason why they're there, is because they're going to help you with certain things. They're going to be the people who are going to guide you and basically continue to have you aligned with what you started this journey with. It's very easy to lose track of that. It's very easy to forget why you started this or the why of your business. It's your team, it's your people that are going to constantly remind you of that. And it's important to ask them for that advice and really take a moment to sit there and listen. Number 10, and I have purposely put this last for the fact that it probably means the most. Number 10 thing that I've learned 1 year down as a general manager of a franchise store, it's a lot of weight. And I think my team recognizes that more today, more than ever, as they take on more responsibilities, as I take on more responsibilities, pass more on to them. And I know most people would think it's kind of a joke, or, oh, he's the boss. He sits there in his ivory tower, he sits in his office, but I probably have learned more in this process, so I've accelerated how I learn. I've also really just tried to take on more problems and more issues and learn more about people's problems and issues, because although I might not be able to fix them today, my focus is, of course, to fix them through time. So when I think about the weight in which I carry today, you know, I've taken on 4 more departments. That means 30 or 20 to 30 people per department. That's a lot more people to be responsible for. In turn, the decisions in which I make are now weighted very differently and affect a lot more people. So it does require you to give more thought to certain things. Again, putting in those safety nets to buy you time to make informed decisions so that you have time to educate yourself on whatever it may be. But also just the weight and the pressure of, you know, having the success of the entire dealership and organization on your shoulders, and having that be your responsibility, I think is a ton of weight. And I think it's something that I definitely underestimated as I pursued this position and the journey. But also, you know, to me, it is a key factor in my purpose and the things that I'm trying to build over time. It is important, especially at a younger age. You know, you are definitely sacrificing a lot of things, like your personal life. I really thought getting into this position immediately was going to allow me to have a little more balance, because my team would be kind of on the front lines or in the trenches. I would still be there, but not as much. But I'm learning today is that as I learn other departments and other struggles in which they have, it actually, puts more weight on you to find solutions for them. You might be doing the same thing you did in other departments for other departments, which is, again, a process, and it takes time, and it definitely has a lot of weight. So for those who are pursuing this type of role or position, or even just leadership as a whole, be very, very aware that, it's gonna be a lot of weight. There's gonna be some sleepless nights. There's gonna be some stress. But I think it's a great way for you to learn how to manage that stress, or find ways to put yourself at peace, ways to compartmentalize and separate work and your personal life, but also to kind of sit back, reflect, and appreciate your people for what you can trust them to do. It's extremely fulfilling, the position. It's, again, very challenging, which I definitely underestimated, but obviously I'm always open for the challenge. That's why I'm here in front of you. That's why I'm doing what I currently do. But I think at the end of the day, you will find yourself really appreciating life a little bit more as you continue to move yourself forward. And then, of course, appreciating your people and time. You realize how key and how valuable time is. And there you have it, guys, the 10 things that I learned after year 1 of being a general manager at a franchise store. I appreciate you all watching. I hope this helps those who are pursuing a similar thing or a similar role. I know the goal of anybody who starts in something is generally just to continue to move forward, or maybe not everyone, but a lot of people think it's just go, go, go. I think a great piece of advice I would give is do it with good purpose, do it with good reason, and not just have it be money and title. Those two things do not necessarily allow the fulfillment that you will feel in developing people and caring for your development. Those things are all very key and very important. So thank you for watching. Of course, like, share, subscribe. I appreciate the support. I appreciate those who have commented and shared my work, whether it's through LinkedIn or Facebook. It is much appreciated, and I hope that it truly helps people and guides them in their journey to become great leaders. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And don't forget, be your best and then be better.